My never I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there. I see them. Yopo. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
I say you share ya check akra.
You share at your pa.
From graduate say pa me kind akra. Then that means you share ya check. All right. Now I hope say bibia ekoyi.
Oh, nyame adom bibia dadi.
Nyame ase. Ati for mo afi na mo journey prophet Telvin J Suwa.
Sabe
ena awie yi yene no etwetwe nkomo na yetane ni hia edi nkomo ane wunanse na emu atwe kakra na nyame adom obiebie ne mani so kire na yenso etimi ahwe ne ama yeni ada ho ene so aye gya ne pese ni hia na ebiebie ne mani so kakra na yehu ye hunhum asem ene yeka enye se ni so bia sa ne ade antino wonte honhom ne mase a enimari bi we be wa dwum bibi I just say should have bomb pa ma nyame boa wo sa area o sa dia asube shipa prof mami fa question we di kan ma
all right
na ifa mi nkomo ne nso
sabe pepe
anye bia no say as a prophet uhwem ewiem na ba bia nyame do bedua e o man ya wo free mu a in the next few years or my Ghana and you move to say for the country
in the next few years of my Ghana. Okay.
Say 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years. It's very broad. So I'll just cap it within some few years. Okay. Number one, I would just put about 7 within the line so we can break it down accordingly. Number one, from now to the next 5 years, Ghana is about to see a very huge shift. Now, there are certain things that runs the country, and one thing we have witnessed in the realm of the spirit through the prophetic angle is that number one, when it comes to visa, immigration, and international relations, Ghana will carry a very strong weight. And to bedroom bibi Ghana passport to Honoma, you will have value, like a lot of value. Schengen countries, European countries and other Asian countries will give access for Ghana to have free visa. Say omuntu kwambra omokrono sombambe juma. So many other things will come up. So that's one thing we have to pay attention to. God. And on a big news. So it connects Ghana to the world. That's the first thing you will notice in Ghana within that 5 years. Number two, the second thing, the 4th year from right now, 4 years from now, I needed to calculate it. 4 years. So from
4 years from now.
Yes, from 4 years from 4 years from now, every farmer in Ghana, everybody that is a farmer is in Ghana, will have more money than every car dealer in the country.
So.
Way more money.
Equiafor
just normal.
Dealing cars.
Yes. Because one bag of cocoa itself will be hitting 5,000, 4,000 something about. And to do
something else.
They should even break one cocoa tree for galamsey because you will waste your energy digging the dirt without any gold. And the cocoa farmers within now to 4 years will carry more money beyond your imagination because Agric is going to take over the world because there is going to be an opening and an investment of trillions of dollars because the West is going to run out of food. America is going to run out of food. Several countries will run out of food. And then, this one thing I want to tell you people, because in time, what I was looking at is that if we are not careful, what will happen is that for our Greek business before we realize it. And the farms now to be their farms whilst you're living in the same country. Wow. So when was a body our farm na we Chinese farms. Yeah, they'll buy it from all the farmers.
And we don't wake up call at the man.
Exactly. Exactly. So we have to be aware of that because that is very critical. A very important thing that has to be done. So that is the second thing that we have to pay attention to. Aside that, the dollar. The dollar and its rates and everything. This is going to be very interesting because a very, very powerful thing that is going to happen. The dollar rate is going to really go down. Like we will be able to own it where we have to own it. You will own the dollar where we have to own it. Because there is a way a Ghana economy is ascending. It's never going to come down again. Spiritually, I saw it because mostly a lot of people say prophets are prophets of doom. But the issue is what we see is what we see. If doom is not coming, we will never say doom. So as I speak to you right now, Ghana is going to turn into a different elevation line. And to kita dollar be and as a bibina, you say you're going to trade in that angle, you're going to lose a lot of that money because something is going to shift in the atmosphere. A shifty panel, and then the fourth thing I would say as well is that I remember one prophecy I said many years ago. Say me were playing one now me bagana. Me na me from mama me drew baby a me descending. And I mean who say skyscrapers is your pine big roads and railway systems at also. Now railway systems were carrying cargo, which means cars from the port to that place from Burkina Faso, because I mean who say na I'm connecting railway systems from different countries and in fa Ghana and the Ghana harbor, the port became very busy. And almost everything from most of the African countries goes through the Ghana port and far not in railway system. And I described that thing, and that is going to happen. This is the 5-year operation I'm talking to you about. But that will kickstart. Some of it has already begun. Some of it has already begun. I can't just a few of it to kickstart. And once it kickstarts, that 4 years, be ready for that operation. Exactly.
This is serious. But Prof, with all these things here, you said what boss we not just say we are actually getting into good times now. But
right
now, no cry presently, no. Oh shit, economic indicators near their dinner. Expect they are all singing praises near there. But back down to the ordinary Ghanaian as well. People are also crying and say, economy that every banner. A very reflect why I brought say, oh, I'm say they will be on what.
Right. That one I think is that calculations are basically for the politicians to handle. But a banner was reality in time what I was seeing. I remember I said something. Say bedroom baby, food to eat in Ghana, coins. Coins, yeah. That a journey amount for 100 Ghana cedis per plate it will not exist. Many restaurants that are waiting to sell food higher would all have to drop their food down.
And this will happen.
And you will hear it as a restaurant crisis, where many restaurants will have foods and nobody would go into it, because everybody will now turn to the natural line, where people are having food in abundance, because there is a system coming in time that I saw that will change the face of everything. And I saw that development was beyond measure. Now, moving in Ghana was easier, so it was a very massive thing. And I believe that as these things are kicking on, we are definitely going to manifest that reality. Exactly.
Right, Prof. My main DISASSOCIATES question, based on all the things that we've heard from you this afternoon, especially in the next 5 years, whatever my maximum 5 years, near my age, not just in yet. We've seen economies elsewhere. A rise, and then suddenly something will happen.
Okay.
Now a breaking a destroy everything. Now at the end, it looks so promising. I feel all the years and you be in the next infant Sabria copying bears at 10 years. No, said the share as a year rise a corner. Is it going to be stable? And now say be a because elsewhere because from nowhere enough your mother what's the word, destabilize the economy.
Yeah, basically there is nothing much like that could take place, because once there is a realm, in the realm of the spirit, there was something that was arranged in time, and that thing has been dealt with. And I community and Kabasta, me, I saw a ship, but now me, I don't want to. I saw to me, the plans of the enemy did not succeed until Munimugwasi. But mainly, what is going to happen is that I said one thing that is very critical in time, that there is just one party ruling the country for 16 years in the timeline. So because it was just one, so because it was just one party ruling the country, it continued the specific line of operation. And Tinyama we start here and we between so once you start here, we between so when you start, and then it continued. And there was no break in between the line. So it continued, and that's how come we're able to be elevated into that angle. And I would
say the all can need not just say blue when you are doing about because say you deal with now about twice because it is one party that is ruling and we are twice because it's their own thing there.
Yeah.
And not just
the other side. Okay, let me break it down to you there. Also, the prophecy stated clearly, and each prophecy is a time dimensional operation that God has revealed. I've gone there, I've seen what is happening. And when I looked at the reality of time as the Lord lives, I began to notice that the NDC were ruling for 60 years. And there was nothing that was breaking it.
Wow.
And there was a younger party that came in to contend with the one that was on. Because now things never be here, they are my dear be here former opinion for no be to understand say like the country was going too good that it almost I said they were playing with things, you know, they were interfering with things, and that's when a third party kicked in and was able to break the barrier. And that was the only thing that breached the 16 years. And aside that, there was nothing. Aside that, there was an organization via BBC, they wanted to create something spiritually, but that one was many years ago. So we've worked towards it a lot, and then we've dealt with it. Aside that, the country is going to look like a one-party state. And some of these will come up, some people will be angry with you, but I saw
because a band sounds quite dangerous. So
it will become like a one-party state for the 16 years I'm talking about. And I said the MPP party was splitted into pieces. And I said this thing like many years ago. Even before Alan Tremontibe departed, I told you put the date and the moment he would depart is right there. Before that time, everybody was Alan Tremontibe in the MPP before it departed. And I came and then I put across the Kennedy, Japan, all those situations all around in that angle. And then even some of the fashions that has been formed out of the party, the base and all of those things, I made it very clear. As I speak to you right now, by the grace of God, it's like the division is ongoing, and the most critical shifts are in time. When I observed it, I started laughing because initially I was like, okay, this man is, I mean, I don't see anything with him, he's not going anywhere. Because they asked me a question, maybe some say, now we obey, and I'm saying, we won't go, like, a very important matter for me. But later, I was just there and I saw a revelation about him. So I was checking through time that what could be the possibility of this opening. And I mean, who say Afenyo marking, honorable Afenyo marking. I don't know what it is. Is it a minority leader? Yeah. Minority leader. One for person, one for your politics, some kind of micro minority. That's the funny one. And or no. And I mean, who say the star of the presidency has left Bawumia. Honorable Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, His Excellency, that's a former Vice President, and I bet to Afenyo marking. So
really,
yes.
But also in recent times, Matiso said, I mean, someone was interviewing, the person made mention of that. He was like, hey, don't go there.
It is the future is very interesting. That once you admit that you want to become, then there's problems, you know. Sure. Do not swing at the king and miss. That's the principle. So we own to me ND or any kind, because you may be the minority leaders at this moment, but don't know the head of the party because he's the flag bearer. So one show you now walk or believe you say you have a presidential ambition, they'll start sabotaging you. And then I'll be to me born the presidential ambition clearly. Now if you do baby no more chiche appointment as a bow because now you're not to change. The reason is because the person sees say Kramanon Kawan in the scene show or approve BB. So basically that's how these things do work. And sometimes it's because the people are very careful, but in time spiritually, and these are spiritual matters in time I'm looking at, and I'm seeing Sadiano Abeton so. Yes. It is on him. So you're the next president of the next presidential candidate. Let me not go far ahead of myself. The next presidential candidate or the flag bearer that will stand and contend within that party is Afenyo marking. He will carry the heaviest weight they have never seen before. Exactly. So that's what I have seen in time, basically. And I don't understand why anytime I look at, because Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, I love him a lot, but me anytime now I don't see him with the thing. So I was like, okay, I mean, let's put it aside then. Where the future is going is what I'm looking at.
Right.
Obiani need media when I tell you say who becomes the next president or any other thing, I don't know whether you like it, you believe it, you don't accept it or not, it will be your reality. You will live in it. So that's how it is.
Bro, with that being said, no, almost so they are, trying to keep the house in order. They are almost so that come 2028, won't meet me IABP.
Right.
They are very hopeful.
Right.
Now, so we need, is there something that can be done? I bet me, assessor, what you've seen.
What I have seen. Basically, when it comes to the 16 years, there's only one thing that broke it, which has to do with the young Plumoro that broke through the 16-year pattern. Once that person is like not active within that reality, the 16 years will continue for NDC permanently. Without no, because it was left with 4 years after 12 years. That 4 years was the main problem. Now last 4 years never completed 16 years now. Then the young Plumo comes in. But then in that context, I always say that so it's no need for panic. If the 16 years has to be fulfilled, it will be fulfilled because that thing can be dealt with. And if the person that is strong enough stands in, they will be able to break through within that system. When that time comes. So at the end of the day, that's how it is. So that's the only bit of time that I am saying, say, in that 16 years pattern, it was broken by a young Plumo. And in prophetic, people can replace things. The event will okay, but we can change the characters in the event. That one is there. But the 16 years is firm and going. Right. And that's it. And as I always say, and there it is your reality. We'll live in it. So maybe in the next 8 years, we'll come here and talk about the same story whilst we are continuing the 16 years.
Maybe say I call back to the continuity. Yes, 16 years never to us for one party now, and never be called ye because a say yeah the we build it on a we build it. Based on that, the current president,
right?
One making a lot of promises. Any idea say Nina bemua and kebebwine, and then you are telling us that the future looks good near there. And you be in the next few years, I can't no name for him to finish his term. In the spiritual realm, bet me achieve a greater percentage of the promises I want make it to Ghana for. And now beer or more a beba I bet was no a bit me yes I ma and yamaku.
Yeah. In time when I looked at certain things, basically this was prophesied way before the 2024 election. I made it very clear that there are certain changes because Ghana is about to enter into a stage of rebirth, which means there's not a reset. They use the word reset, but the country is about to be reborn. There are certain things we used to know that is about to change. Certain pathways we used to know that is about to change. So many promises now are making basically on the political angle. I don't know, president or any promises. So I would want that one. I would admonish him to keep his side of the bargain. That is his side. But basically, what I see here from now, by the time he gets out from that seat, there are so many things that you will see happening. I don't know what, honestly, I don't know their manifesto. I don't go into those things. Because when you go in there, it becomes like you know what is happening, then you talk about it. But I know exactly what is happening in time as I see. The country is going to change in ways we cannot imagine. And when it comes to even movement and everything, agriculture, the gold and everything, so many things will be hit. So prepare yourself. And then there's mainly to, basically I know because the way Future was going, it meant that something good happened. He moved something and he may have kept some things. Yeah. I believe strongly.
Now, Prof, yeah, shifting the kakra. Now, mostly, I might be koso and I be jumeku be koso. It will be bampo individually. Will be tumpo there, and then from nowhere there can be an attack.
Right.
On that country or firm or that personality.
Right.
Now, the oil from those attacks, no, the physical ones are very much aware of. Sometimes and no. Sometimes you can see it coming and then you plan, say, okay, in case enemy don't want to do this, we also do this.
Right.
The countries now the interceptors be a bar, they prepared for that. But when it comes to spiritual attacks, you don't
see it coming. It takes you by surprise.
Now, spiritually, those attacks, see then a banner say, and can maybe tumpon and idea will be condemning the grandfather say, President here, banner or born home or be and then spiritual attack be from somewhere and then boom. That's how they be yes.
No, I shut it down. Also, the life of man is warfare. So life is a battle between spiritual angles before you go to the battlefield to fight. The Sun Tzu said, he who wins the war in the temple before going to the field to fight, he will win. Which simply means that you win inside the temple, which means the Chinese warlords understood that in order for you to win a war spiritually, you have to conquer first. Yeah. Then when you go out, you can win. So spiritually, it's a contention. There is another side of the occasion. There's another party. There are other people. There are other businesses that want to manipulate the operation. And then there is the international world that want to keep you where you are so they can rule the country continually. So definitely there will be certain spiritual manipulations. But then as the Lord lives, no one say, so we are standing in the gap and praying and pushing so that certain strange things does not happen. Because as I was speaking to you in time, I said this 2 years ago, that in this country there was an agenda for a coup in the country, and then that thing has been dealt with in a very shocking manner. And within the same season, in and that's something that shows you say there is a work in progress, and by the grace of God, certain things will be planned, but it will not happen in our country. And as I speak to you, like we are still trying to bury another, we are still crying and trying to bury somebody. Like right now today, yes.
And can you see my prominent person?
Oh, Anka, I see that. I've received the information. They've called me, they've told me, and I've spoken to some of them. Yeah, the same story. I made a prophetic decree. The same story. The same story. I gave the prophetic decree. Now, not everything in this country that the person will come and start on TV and then talk about it. It is there. So everybody that knows that situation is an underground situation that has taken place quietly. People are quietly quieting about it. Yeah, so not easy. The same August story we had. Another one was about to hit.
Wow.
So people watch my prophecy and not to make a decision for their life. And you see why they're important, because prophecy is there to inform, to guide, to direct. And now it's only one person they have targeted, and they will continue the pattern spiritually. So we'll deal with that one, and then we take it from there. And these things do happen in time, but once there's a prophet to reveal the secrets of the enemy and also pray about it, so wow, the people that are watching me, they know what happened some few days ago. Like all of you be crying by now. They pray, no more by this time.
And as I'm going to say, that's what comes to my face.
Yeah,
and you hear it being played everywhere.
Yeah, like it was a repetition. Yes.
But Prof, why is it that why are we like that? Say all the time, maybe more and more. They are always looking for the downfall of others. Say, why?
I think it's a very, very dark character. It's in the human nature. Once human beings came into the flesh, you be Danisa. On say Bible, no, you Adam and Eve, more back in and Abel, no more 4 pay. Yes, being 4 on the face of the, they couldn't tolerate each other. Not Cain, Abel. Nipa 4 we are 4 pay. Now I come back on everyone. So envy and jealousy did not come today. Because obi anya recognition, prominence, attention, blessing, and to be teaching no feel or no feel until you attack you, the one going forward. And that's the situation. And then some of the real situations we're seeing here on social media. I mean, say Obi Stoneboy, akoya ni show. Ewo London, is it London or Germany?
Yeah,
London. When the show in London. No be the whole show a crowd go a man for tunyum yedi Ghana way ark no coat of family and people excited, they are happy, show is going on. Now Ghana for media and some few people, what they are talking about is curtains. Talking about curtains, they are trying to find every fault within the person's success. What I say? Obetime a president. Why a president? Why fight it to the top, saving the country? Somebody will tell you, say, unti bro, unti. That alone should overshadow all the hard work you've done. So basically, that's that kind of thing, because you are reaching stage of what we call anti-success, which means when we see success, we find faults in the success, and that's the stage we've reached until we are not able to celebrate the success. Almost a Bruni Bibe organization and a grand singer or something. A big organization or club and a party kituabi. I'm from about 25 now, so we are saying I'm for positive. Wow, go girl, you did very good. Congratulations on your show. And as our congratulations on my man, Obeka say we be Kenchen. Okobia 20 people are standing there. Obi be near for aeroplane I call UK. I call Gadani Pabe say 7,000, 10,000, say 20,000, any number. Even if they were 500, that's a good approach in life. We can never compare ourselves to the Benner boys and everything, because their country, there are 240 something million people. So we can never get the kind of numbers they have. And they are masters of Jakpa. You are from closer go close in terms, so they go support each other. That's how they are. But in our context, mostly we try to play down on the people's success, and we see someone going, and then we keep fighting. Only saying, you want to succeed, they are not a phobia. Now you never compare. Now Adani battle. So every day they are using the person to insult you. Then you push now we and say, me too, they were using me to insult some people. I told them, don't go there with me. Me, I'm my own person. I'm not the one using you to insult some other pastors here and everything. Say, oh, we are say, hey, hold on, oh. I know you people, because definitely you will be doing that to all of us. So in that context, that's how it happens. I say, we become thin at the fatness of our neighbor. You also be qua. And it's a thing. Naturally, human beings are like that. Obi ko enim no be succeed. Yet me you say but then what you're supposed to do is not to pull the person down. You're supposed to run in that race. It's a race. So when you see someone is leaving you behind, find other strategies and catch up. Don't get angry trying to find ways to dig them down or dig dirt on them. Obetimia your papa by actually doing better, and that can actually save you. So I believe strongly, say, let's rather be successful in pushing each other, and we can really go further. Because affecting the reason why that has affected us is it has gone through the politics. President Bibaya had the papa be oh who the papa now I know say Sadusi for no ya say so share now so ya. He doesn't want to see the good things someone is doing. The fact, say, oh yeah, politics or any other thing in the country, and yes, our NDC MPP, as I say, psychologically, it has dug into our soul. So your wants to be succeed, we need the other opposition. And then we start that comparison. We start comparison, then we start fighting each other. So we're like, okay, we say, oh, we cry, no, you say, and oh, we cry, you're correct. We cry, say, then we start digging. So steady, our media space, most of the biggest information is not good news. It's bad news. It's always something that is wrong. Once a interview is say, I'm trying to tissues is here, better than breaking news. Everyone should have people everywhere. Every blogger will talk about hey, Mumbai show, the catalyst bar. See what you a drone fan. Maybe I know the catalyst bar. You know, I am okay. The catalyst bar. Now, I tell you, now you know that kind of thing. Now, almost start take but whatever good thing you say, yeah. Like I spoke about cocaine. Say, yeah, but cocaine with your good sacks. I said, cocoa sacks are the way. So government writing is stamp. I hear this number of cocaine barbechi, and the people will be caught red-handed, and then they will be brought to the news. We will monitor it. 2 weeks, Pepe was a 1 week after. Partner ya chairman for no Pepe the same thing. Arrested there. That is development of the country. These are the things that save your country. Exactly. So these are some of the things we have to look at, and then we have to push the agenda of success. That's it.
All right. Prof, I'm missing a question. Sometimes prophecies need be one way back. We they say you be lie, sir. It's, you know, those that favor money there, cool. And even if they don't love you, they'll begin to love you. You understand? But they are man, especially see how they are mentioning as a 16 years continue. Master, obi on one of person the party ban. So how do you handle those things like when it happens like this? Because one, this is what God has revealed to you. And attacks a banning. How do you handle that?
Number one, me and Cranny. So we are happy by nature. Your happiness for your crowd. Number that's one thing. Well, from when you're like, it's happiness from when you're a kid. So you always like things that bring happiness. That's why we don't know how to do most of the things. And then secondly, once I attempt the baby obedi me biano, and I the obe catch me. I mean, and I catch me the dada. When we were kids, they they'll mock you basically. That we are good at that. Cry for no. So like they do attempt they grow, so you are normal with it. So mainly we are interested in like somebody that is saying something factual or something important. Then our brain wants to work with it. But when it's just somebody just talking, it's not really important to us. Definitely, once you speak, I remember 2020 there about, and I started talking about NDC coming to power. Mama will win by 57%. It will take about almost getting to 11 to 13 regions and blah blah blah. Broke it all down. I make a date and time of the election in Yaman. People will come. Wow, we there, we false prophet, fake pastor, NDC pastor. But then 2020, I said Akufo-Addo will win the election. His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will win the election. I'm kind of pay. Nobody came to insult me. Nobody came to insult me. That one, so now MP for now quiet. Now NDC for now Jimmy Asuya. Nakuja is an NDC member. One said, we deal with everybody, but an NDC member. Make cancer. I don't know me interview. When I said it was not happy at all. That day it was very, very dull. But whatever it does, that's what I'm seeing. I mean, you can't convince me to say otherwise. And at the end of the day, it happened. Insult was coming from the other side. Any microphone, Mose, or the caption, no caption, go on Bonnie, or should I cover? But it's his reality. He has lived in it. And at 2024, it comes on NDC to Prophecy comes in. He wins they win the election. Everybody goes out, the election comes. Once our shame come, no means to be for deal with them or Kikanya Macha or calling you all, and you don't know them from Adam and they don't even know you from Adam, but you're saying what you've seen. And they say, oh, no, so what opinion? No, so believe it's our whole time or I'll see the future. And I was there to the Michelle Goma. I saw someone on interview saying, prophecy about 2028 election, Bawumia will become president. And on what was a 53.3% to a 53 point something, 51 point something percent. Or no, se sanity se meka ohubia na wakwa na trabre no dura.
Well, now let me be that question because sometimes even some of us,
right?
Me nyame yihwe nkyere me enye me nyame aka me de answer me no din komo na wo waka. And sometimes you finish with your show and then mo say obi send you message bi and I say we work number oni pa kunka unim no. And you don't even know how they manage to get your number or for or introduce you to and sometimes the anger.
Yeah, and
I can imagine one casa now who deliver message because me I'm a teacher on the so and so obi create me say why do you allow such people to come on your program and
I like obi share
me too regular media program so media but
obi can problem but say bomb for cry to aka na o choba ni o train nam no e dey am kwan no it's not easy. They really get a lot of that hate. Like they try to dig a whole lot of things on you. They will twist your statement, twist your words and everything, and put it to the public without any evidence. And they keep pushing an agenda against you. Like me, I've seen all of those things. Like they've done to the maximum. People have done a lot, and it's like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Because you know exactly what you're doing. We did not just show up and then we were just doing something that is moved by this. I am not moved by the applause of men, neither am I moved by the insults of men. I have a plan and I'm moving the plan. I was waking from a lowly sleep to execute something in time, and that's specifically what I'm doing. So Otie, the wind that is going on, you will be worried. Just make sure you're careful, take your plans together, put things in order, and then you go forward. And by the time we are far gone.
What did you move? Prof, I mean, this is our question. Say, has there been a time when Nyame be at show? Yes, we did partially, like you saw it, and then this is it, and it's like
vividly,
nothing can be done about it. Yet, time when Nyame share no so and do an ambassador, it changed to something else.
Not even one, not even a single one. I can't remember any. There's not even to remember. There is none. Basically, there is none. There is none in a sense. Once I tell you it's an original timeline, there's nothing you can do about it.
Wow.
Yes, once I tell you that. If I tell you we can tamper with it, and then we start working fine. Once a number of people we can see something, and then when we are dealing with the situation, I said a prophecy in time. Obiaba, now we're now kana young maybe we're basically going. So I'll come and tell you, oh, something is happening behind the scene, but I can't just tell you everything about the thing. Means because oh, now we're nearby and we know everything you can actually give to the public, because my law is the act of secrecy. I keep a privacy because we have a very strong non-disclosure life in what I do. So I like to hide the people that come to me. So Obana Betan meaning no can at the end of the night dealing with the situation. I'm not going to stand out there and be talking about it. We don't do that at all. And once I see you mean to me because the Marco who be now me she be that be maybe one or two make kind in a very funny way, but then you understand that there's a progressive work on it. And I've not really seen any yet. No.
All right. Now, main disaster question enough in the final one about after delivering prophecy they won't let's say any way they were
right.
And then those ones now are in there.
Right.
Sometimes say uries are say it will affect them. It's not going their way.
Right.
Sometimes I almost me too and I'm more baby whom say, is there something we can do about it so that a best and
yeah, they do actually. Like I've actually seen people that will actually say something opposite on air and then come and see you. So it's a contradicting reality. They're saying something else.
Yeah, then they will come
but then they are with you. So it's like, you know, you don't get the picture. Like, why are you trying to change the story from this side, but you're different out there? So a very, very different situation. You go with basically every election. I have people from everywhere. As I speak to you right now, I'm inside almost every African election. Every African election, every kind of from different presidents. I'm inside Nigeria, I'm everywhere. Every African election, basically. Almost everyone. Yeah, any election that you see coming, basically, I have people walking in from different countries. Is it that the president's advisor, their vice president, either the incoming president, or any of the party this thing that are there? And I'm not talking about say CPP and I say Gumo. I'm talking about the major parties, though. The ones that are about are likely to win, the ones that are standing in that contest. So I believe strongly say this prophetic thing is being seen across the world and people are moving towards it. So Biaba and I don't also prophesy and ask people that me. I don't care about that. I'm telling you what is going to happen. If you have someone that can do something about it, now wow. I'm not the only one that can actually help you. The prophetic is there, but if you choose to come to me, that's also a very good thing for your advantage, because when I name baby, you know where you're two at the end from, then you know how we can put it together. So that's how it is basically.
Again, how do you handle a situation where they are true and said they all kind of say some of them there's nothing you can do about it where they busy, and then will be a fan will come to you, the same person to help, avert that and say BB. How do you handle it for the person to understand? Say, really,
yeah, I think that I'll use Honorable Kennedy Japonson as an example. In a situation like this, with the prophetic I've given and everything, there are other prophets that he's coming to power and everything. They said it. People came to me and they made it clear. Say, okay, Yaba. I think about 3 different people. I was like, okay, Yenny and I did Kennedy Japonson. And we want to arrange. He wants to come and see you, and this is the arrangement so that we can do whatever we have to do. Now first person comes, now I'll be born in. Another person about now I'll be born in. A third person about now I'll be born in. Now I'll be trying to say, okay, per se, this is what they want to arrange because they really want to win this election. It's very important to them. On my career, anybody that came there, I sat down, looked at them in the eyes, and I told them clearly that your man is not going to become president. It doesn't matter how. I told them word for word. I said, but if there's any other thing to, if the person wants to, we have to do a meeting, it will be done, but the result will always remain one. Bawumia has won the election, is over. There's nothing we can do about it. So almost about 3 different people, I told them the same story. It never changed. 2020 election, NDC people were there as well. I told them, as for this election, I think it was this, and I told them, as for this election, you people have lost to. It will look like you are winning the election, but you will not be president. That's how the show is. So that one, forget about it. So I make it very clear. So I prepare you, because if the thing is there and you won't win, I'll tell you, you are going to lose. So if there is another window, don't wait for this one. Fight for the other window. But most people are so like carried away by other people, and they are pushing, they are so enthusiastic, and then they have a delusional force where they're like, oh, I can win. When you're no prophet, when you're a small boy, now no, I want, let me just go and push. If I try harder, I can do it. Now then they go more campaign or strategic things and everything. There is this thing. They are campaign managers, they are cocoa sellers, they are farmers, they are carpenters, they are masons, they are ministers, and they are prophets. Our work is to see the future, guide you through the future. We may not be special. We may not have horns or wings. We may not have parliamentary appointments. We may not sit down on horses or fly in the air. We may be very young. We may be very small. But the words that comes out of our mouth is not our own words. We are messengers. We are scribes of God, and the message is given to us. Once we see the message, we will look at it in the revelations, then we show it to you. What you want to do with it is entirely up to you. Exactly.
Bro, finally, what do you say to Nkofwa all the time? One can say, prophet, we the politics and we the politician, politics and and then on far in that area now they tend be politics.
Okay, so let me break something down. In the kingdom of God, there are categories when it comes to outreach and soul winning and preaching. We have the infantry, we have the cavalry, we have the technical warfare, we have different kinds, the generals of the war, we have the war council, and then the war healers. Those are the medical staff of the war. So sana body of Christ here. Everybody and what they are doing. You were apologetics for war, more for a debate. About be some now more battle over there. Some of them they can go very dark and dirty. Some of them can argue and everything. Almost different. Then there are other teachers that write books and everything. Then there are prophets. There is one thing you would notice anytime they mention a prophet in the Bible. The moment you hear the word prophet, the next word you see is a king. All prophets in the Bible were political. There's not even a single one. There's not even a single one that was talking about anything different aside political operation. There's not one. If you go through the Bible right now from Genesis to Revelation, anytime you see a prophet, the next thing you see is a king. Well, how do you know Prophet Samuel? Yeah, but the word Prophet Samuel was 3 months, then about 3 months. Or see him David, and or see or him Saul. Aside that, before from about 3 months, nothing. When the boy Elijah the Tishbite, the first appearance of Elijah, when people were sorry them, when people were farm, when people were neither was he under a crusade. It was in a king's palace prophesying. And now no case I said, how can this be possible? That's Elijah talking. When they speak about Melchizedek, his first encounter was with Abraham to go and establish a promised land. Anytime you hear about a prophet, there is kingship. You hear about Moses, you see kingship. Anytime you see them, there is rulership and politics around them. That's the prophetic angle. And that's a true part you. But our walk talks about the nation. So the Bible said that by a prophet, the Lord God delivered Israel out of Egypt. By a prophet, they prevailed. So that is the key principle of the prophetic. That's what the prophetic does for us. So as a nipano, one important thing we have to understand is anytime at all there is a prophet, he will mainly talk about the nation. And you can't talk about the nation without the key players of the nation. What has to do with the politics, the change of government, who becomes the next king. And now also as a prophet, you are one of the people responsible for bringing out those revelations. So I don't know a prophetic thing. And you'll be able to say, oh, prophet, it's all about who becomes the president, what the nation is going to do. Because that's what prophets do actually. We play hypocrite and we pretend like, oh, a prophet, no, a Juma be a newer for prophet than that. And not that we just talk about politics, but we reveal the future of the nation. And now Butrao said, as we are here right now, the dollar rate will be 25 Ghana cedis. Do you want to be surprised by it, or you want somebody to tell you?
The dollar rate.
Maybe a 25 Ghana cedi against the dollar. Would you want to be shocked by it as a that's already an opportunity to not happen, or you want someone to tell you ahead of time?
If I could know about it,
exactly,
and obey better,
then so it prepares the country. Yeah. Exactly. So if you study through the whole Bible, it's always a king and a prophet. So it's always, they are always in the place of politics. That's where they have always been through the Bible. So you're pretending to say, oh, prophet is a lie. It's always been in the Bible like that. And most of us like this. Me, I teach. I have a whole service for teaching. A whole 3-hour service for teaching. I teach the Bible. I'm also a good teacher of the word. So I do that. But I thought about most of the information that goes out is politics. I don't know a central station, which means and yeah, sorry, different. So when I speak here, the political people will carry their own from it. And almost exactly. But some people take it from one side and then move accordingly. So that's it.
Prophet, you come on what would be that one message? Yeah, would they be my as a country or people of God? What I say, a message, one can say, share from God, say, we don't find money mouthful, and now say, your media amount that you want to share with us.
All right. Basically, there are some few things I'll put across. Maybe let me just leave one here. I think I've dropped a lot already. Let me leave one here so that everybody will prepare together. I will repeat again the same prophetic line I have seen with the agric ministry, agriculture. I will say to everybody under the sound of my voice, if you're in this country, don't waste your money looking for visa. Don't waste your money looking for any other thing. You see your father's land, your grandfather's land that you have left in the village to come and chase nursing job here. Gather that money, go back there and start farming. Go back there. You will say, I did. Jesus Christ. When you people begin to sell plantain and cassava to buy iPhone 20, iPhones 18, people will sell that to buy cars. Normal people. And then by the time we close our eyes and open, the Chinese own all the farms. They will lease it for 20 years to do an operation. We need to take over and get ready, because 5 years from now, as a farmers will make more money than anybody dealing good. Write it here and always remember.
Amen. Prophet, but something just crossed my mind. I mean, this is our question. And yes, most but Obia or ye Christo ni bia there.
Right.
Nani at that point say Jesus will come, the second coming of Jesus Christ.
Right, absolutely.
And for us as Christians, one significant idea. Sometimes we get yes, with me about now. They say, we are near me yesterday.
Yeah, you see, well,
and you be no. When you mean you actually say Trona Metia say that particular thing there, Yami de Hitae.
Right.
But Yami be as to when he's coming.
The coming of Jesus Christ. Yeah, I actually have a revelation about that. And let me break it down to you. My revelation is very deep about the second coming of Jesus Christ. So I have seen it. I have seen the whole thing. Now, the most interesting part of the whole equation here, what I've looked at is, I looked into time. This is way many years ago. What I saw was that I saw darkness approaching. And it was like a darkness that was swallowing the entire pattern of time, the spiritual realm. So as it was swallowing it and it was approaching, and then I began to ask, well, what is coming? And then he told me that's the end of all things, basically. So when I heard that, I was like, okay, so tell me when, like let me know when, so that we can be able to prepare ourselves ahead of time. And then God took me out of that domain to look at what was happening. And when I observed what was happening, it is what we call moving time. You know, I always tell people I'm a master of time. I've actually mastered how the timelines work. So that was the only time pattern. That was not like a time in the timeline. It was like something that was eating the timeline. So if the timeline was a road and it is going, that thing is also meeting the timeline. So you would not be able to know when it meets where the problem is. So you can calculate how the timeline is moving and how that is also approaching. So it becomes a strange thing to know. I say, Ofri Accra Eba. Maybe if I say Ofri baby, it's a circle. And I mean, so me free baby to say Akramo, and I miss in shower Achimota. But based on the angle, no, you bet me because we can all read there by 5 minutes, but we can never know the traffics on the road. Neither can we know how fast your car can move, basically. And to your car, my friend said, "What free? Oh, miss my free or yeba." Maybe I'm able to tell be pie, and I said, "Obiabe traffic light be so now you're delay kakra." So we may never meet on the exact time we plan. That is how come the Bible said, "No man knows the day nor the hour the Son of Man cometh." So we can never know because it's not a static time, it's a motion time, which means it is impossible for anybody, even with a prophetic eye, to ascertain that timeline. It is not possible. So that's the only thing that will take us by surprise. But then there will be signs of his coming. And the signs is what we have already experienced. So now we wait for the coming of the Lord Jesus Christ as the Lord lives.
Right, Prophet, but that's it. Now, Wama, church location, any days and
yeah, sorry, okay. So the first week in September we're beginning our first morning service because we don't do morning service.
Yeah, so you mentioned it the other days. Very soon
we'll start a morning service. So in September we're going to start our first Sunday in September. Yeah, morning service. It was September. OUB Prayer Camp Junction, and every Friday, prophetic all night. Even this Friday we're doing a prophetic all night, and we are praying about something that is very critical. When Jesus met the blind man, and then he cried, "Son of David, have mercy upon me. Son of David, have mercy upon me." And when Jesus stopped, the blind man got up and then he threw away his garment. Or to So on Friday we are dealing with certain things from the past. Obi wo be okita sex toy bia edi ninya or they are masturbating in life bia trial. Obi wo ho a niam bi wo ho a create addiction to them. Obi wo ye draw ye busum ye talisman ye bead bia wakoje we did be their sissy done like an embargo upon his life, leading into iniquity, into a lot of things. If you're a person like that and you have those things, I would need you to pick it up and bring it, because we are going to set those things on fire. You're going to let the past be the past, and so that you can focus on the future, because we are pattern breakers. You're breaking the pattern and the reoccurrence of your family into a new angle. Say like your clothes be from the past, you can cut some bit of it and bring it. So that's the direction we're actually doing. So we're doing that. So everybody coming in, you take something from your past, a dibia, whatever it could be. But once it comes from maybe 4 years, 5 years ago, you can always bring an object like that. It could be from your hometown, it could be from your village, maybe a bibia you have to deal with. You know that it's simukwine, or it's something that comes from your past. Maybe may have not basically done anything, but we are connecting to the past and cutting it off from you. So that's what we're doing. So you come in on Friday 9 p.m. at OUB Prayer Camp Junction on the Adenta Dodowa Road, just right after Valley View University. It's OUB Prayer Camp Junction, and the name of our ministry is Prophetic Life Embassy. Prophetic Life Embassy. Prophetic Life Embassy. So you can go on Google and search for propheticlifeembassy.org. You can go onto our website. The locations are there. Google Map Prophetic Life Embassy on Bolt, on Uber, and everything, on Shazi, all of them. It is Prophetic Life Embassy OUB. Once you put it there, you will get the coordinate, the navigation to the church by the grace of God. And this Friday is our all night. So this Friday, prepare yourself, take those objects, come and let's break some things. And we believe in the capabilities of God, and we believe that God can do anything. Maybe any until while you're already nabra. Then I also know fast car those kind of things. We don't play that kind of game there. So and you know they just be or but I say, hey, no boy wedding me do but I induced car. Our church is Roman and our presby. Say now call presby, I call Sato for Ama Kofi and then Yamadabi. Osaya bed I was now the 2 man. That's the only offering you will give basically. So that's how we are presby in disguise. As a Roman, as a presby, the way that's a banis Kasema. We are like Orthodox. We don't do that. You are what $2,000 brand name, me won't star be better also 2,000 brother. We don't play that kind of game. A normal basic church when it comes to that angle. So some people feel like, oh, if your mobile number they think we are collecting some kind of money. Like we don't do that over there. Yeah. So we are actually in a different angle. So that's it. And our phone numbers are 02622 36360, 026 22 36 360, and the second one is 0256 290 320, 0256 290 320. Or you be Prayer Camp Junction, Prophetic Life Embassy.
Prophet, the better was na ya hwem kwasa another time. The best say she na pedi nkobi.
Most definitely. Nyamisha. All right.
Abusia mesra se obefem me waso kakra. Eye asase bi a eda apa wager. Meka na se police station enchen hono a ana se wager ahemfie no nchen ho a, in fact bensa area ho na asase no asase a baby eda no yi ankasa sanse ya sidan atwa ho ahia ya enonko a na eda ho no abusia asase wura se oton na the price no 200,000 Ghana cedis so wo free a obetimi ene wo aka ho nsem kakra so obete so kakra e di amount na abusia asase no meka na say ufiri honum eba eye street no so na ebe just 100 meters bi keke ena ekwan esan da nanimu a etwam enti e akusase a eda yi ankasa na so opese utwe ufre na uhwe asase mu nsensem ene se de ebekwa number obetumi afre so eye 0246 695015 0246 695015 and I say 0244 662684 0244 662684 abusia asase no edayi pa
my never say ma PENDREAM TV de o se dem yopo